There we go. There we go. A little bit of a lag, but there we go. A little bit of a lag, but how's it going, guys? How's it going, guys? So I'm super excited. Made a few improvements today. I have a microphone, and then I have you guys up on the TV so I can see the chats easier. Who all we got on so far? Got 8 people on. So, project for tonight. Well, we got 2 of them actually. We're going to be making a stand for the trophy bat that we made last night on the lathe. Here's our hole for, we'll put a peg in the middle of it and we're going to make it in a home plate stand. That's the plan for tonight. And then after that, gonna make kind of a unique planner. I'm sure you guys have seen them before, but gonna try to do one of the sorry, fumbling a little bit, guys. Trying to get all this technology figured out. We've got the laptop running so I can answer with messages, and then we've got the phone to stream, and then up here we've got our TV. So that's kind of what we're working with. This way I should be able to see the chats a little bit easier. There we go. Except apparently the live chats do not show up on the TV for some reason. I'm not sure why. But we'll get there. We're going to keep working on this. Hopefully you guys can hear me significantly better tonight. As I mentioned, I did pick up the microphone. Gamer Boy, how's it going? Thanks for joining. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Got a giant mess out here. That's probably what I should be working on. But I just want to keep pumping out content for you guys. Different builds that you can make, that you can turn around, you can sell, you can give as gifts. Nothing else, just way of keeping your sanity. So, all right. I think what we're gonna do, I'm looking through my scrap pile right now to see if I can find, honestly, one of these pickets would probably do the trick just fine. We'll turn this into a home plate. Shouldn't take much. I'll probably try to find one that's not quite as cupped as that, but other than that. Hi Lisa, how are you doing tonight? And yeah, let me find one real quick and we'll get moving with that. I'll bring you guys with me. Ooh, my hair is wild tonight. These are all fairly cut. And see all my wife's craft stuff here as well. I'm not the only creative person in the family. There we go, that one's. So with this, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just square it, and then we'll cut a 45 and a 45, and that'll get us our home plate. Super simple. So let me find my goggles and get you guys set up where you guys can watch. Man, I don't know if I like seeing myself that big on the TV. That's a little wild. We got any of the folks from Bearded Viking on here tonight? If you can, please smash that like button. Help me out a lot. We're at 1 so far. At one point, we had 30 people in the live. So we can definitely do better. I am going to pin a comment on the chat with my Venmo. Please, no one feel obligated to donate, but if you want to help me with like things like getting the mic to get a little bit better sound for you guys, helping purchase materials, whatnot, so I can keep this channel going and keep building and growing. Urban Legend, what's up? So it's just gonna be, it's just my name is all it is for Venmo here. Yes, I am in a garage and lots of wood stuff. Since you just joined, try not to take too long because I know some of the other people have already seen this, but this was what we made on the live last night. It's just like a little miniature stadium size bat. We're going to go ahead and it's got a hole on the end. We're making a home plate base. It's going to go on there. And then my wife is incredible with the wood burner, and she's going to burn names on them, Little League team logos, and we're going to sell them as trophies. So that's the game plan. Originally, we made these as 420 pipes with the hole running all the way through them, but that was a different time when I was younger. So let's get at it. All right. So picket should be 5.5, but this one's rather old, so it's been drying in the garage for quite a while, so it's down to 5 9. So we'll go ahead and we'll square this at 5 9. Sorry, I'll try to give you guys a warning next time before I cut that. So 5 9, we're going to go ahead and split that in half. So we'll go just a little bit over 2 1/4. not quite 2 and 5. Right? Now 2.5, 2 3/4. Yeah, just right around 2 3/4. Check it the other way. Yeah, that'll work. We're gonna turn our saw to cut a 45. There we go. So the next step, I believe my Bosch sander's downstairs in the basement. I can't remember why I drug it down there, but gonna go ahead and we'll sand this down, and then we'll put a mark in the center. We'll drill a hole, and we'll put our peg in there, and then we'll be able to have our full on display trophy. So we're going to look a little something like that, and then it'll have custom names on it. So pretty simple, pretty easy project. Bat's a great thing to learn how to turn. If you guys want to give it a shot, check out my live from last night. We'll just buzz this down real quick. Who all is still in the chat or still on the live? Who's still watching? See, there's at least 2 of you. We're up to 2 likes. We're getting there. Oh, we're down to 1, man. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sand this down real quick. Just gotta plug it in first. They work better when you do that. What is going on here? Oh, I remember. I don't know why. All right, there we go. Got a nice smooth bit. One thing I am not going to do to this one, I suppose I could probably try to knock normally I put a bevel on these. You either router it. I usually just use my spindle sander combo. This guy right here. But I know I bought the new belt for it, but I cannot find it to save my life. So that's where we're at. So now let's go ahead and mark out the center there, and we'll drill out that hole for the peg. With this, you don't really need anything specific to find the center. Just a straight edge. Go from corner to corner. And then once we drill the hole, we'll go ahead and take this off of there. I don't remember how I used to do these. I'm trying to remember if I had them that far back. I think that'll work. We'll go with that. All right, so I believe last night we used a 3/4 inch bit, Forstner bit. Yep, 3/4 inch. So we'll just I don't want to drill into my table saw top. When I used to make these, I would make them out of at least 1 inch material. And that would hold up a little better. Might have to turn a dowel for that tonight because I don't think I have any dowels available. But, or I might just wait to pick up a dowel. I don't feel like turning a dowel tonight is worth it. But that'll give you a pretty good idea of what we're working on. So, all right, let's get this out of the way and let's get working on that planter. Tomorrow I'll pick up a 3/4 inch dowel. We'll stick it in there, and then it'll go in there, and we'll have a nice little stand. And I'll probably go ahead and pick up that belt for my sander over there so I can put the bevels on nice and easy. So, all right, you guys ready for the planter? Who just hopped on? Someone joined. I'm not sure who. And also, I'll kind of round this over with that as well. So then we'll have a finished piece other than my wife burning Little League logos and names on them. And I think we'll be able to sell. I think I'm going to shoot for like 30 bucks a piece for this and the display. And $5 a piece for the names. The average team is going to have 10 to 14, so those orders should be several $100s. Oh, we got 3 in the chat. Woohoo! Please say hi if you're just joining. So I'm going to set this up out of the way, and we're going to get started on that planter. Up to 4 again. We're growing. We're getting there. So I hope everyone can hear me a little better tonight. I did invest in getting myself a microphone, so that should make it easier to hear me. My wife claims I mumble all the time. So do we have anyone else in the chat that can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Alrighty. Gotta clear off the workspace. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start laying out that planner. Our first thing we're gonna do is let's pick a total length for it. I'm thinking I want to shoot for about a 1 foot length. So we'll do 1 foot, and with that, our material's running about 9/16. So we'll subtract 9/16 and 9/16 together. That's going to be 1 1/8 inches. So we're going to cut these boards, the stretchers for the bench, we're going to cut down to, let's see, 1 1/8 minus 12. We're going to be 10 7/8. So looks like I got a nice flush cut there. If we're going to be a foot long, I feel like we can pretty much leave it right at this 4 1/8 is what I have this one ripped at. So let's go ahead and cut that. Bring you guys with me. Let's see, 10 7/8. Sorry it took me a little long to get on live tonight. My poor dog somehow hurt her paw and we can't figure out what's going on. So I have to take care of her first. So that'll be our bottom to our planner. And then from there, we'll cut a couple sides to it. Let's see, how wide do we want our sides to be though? I feel like that's gonna be, that should work. We can roll with that. I'm just making this up on the fly as we go, guys. So we'll go ahead. We're gonna set a stop, probably rip some more 4 1/8, and we'll go from there. So I believe my wife is the only one watching this right now, my biggest fan. So. All right. Now let's run over the chop saw real quick and we'll rip a couple more of these down. Meet you over there. See, I knew there was a reason I didn't throw these away. Got so much scrap in this shop, it's not even funny. All right. And I'm going to keep preaching this over and over again. When you guys are setting up your table saw, make sure that you're only leaving maybe 2 or 3 teeth exposed. You want as little exposed as possible. It just minimizes the risk to your fingers. You want to stay a member of the 10-finger club. So far I have all 10. All right. Sorry, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but safety is important. I imagine this is a lot harder to do the less and less digits you get. Although I've seen many old carpenters that don't have them. So, all right, we'll rip these 2 down real quick. And actually, we only need, knock on wood, right? So if you guys see people, or if you see my name being put in the chat, it's my wife that's watching as well. Shoot, these are a little bit too short. So we're going to rip a fresh picket down. So I guess that scrap was not as useful as I thought. See if we can get a better angle of the saw itself. There we go. All right. Beautiful. All right, now we're coming back over here. 3 legs. Getting there. All right, so now we got our two sides and our bottom. We're going to go ahead and cut our end pieces, and those will use the same material, but we're basically just going to add this width to the width of the panel. So these are coming at 4 1/8, like I said before, and we're right at 9/16, so 9/16 and 9/16. You'll be at 1 1/8 plus 4 1/8. That's going to put you at 5 1/4. Should be our correct measurement. Didn't know this was going to be math class tonight. Holy shit, I can do math. What do you know? It's a little funky because it's on there, but you can tell because at the bottom it all matches up. So we're going to be good. So we'll cut one more of those. All right, guys, so we got the basic box cut out. I'm going to kick on the compressor real quick and we'll nail this together. Got my 23 gauge nailer, but when I sprayed, I cleared them off of here, and now I can't find one of them. I don't know what I did with the other one. Maybe down here. First thing tomorrow, we're definitely doing a shop cleaning. I can't find anything in here tonight. Aha! Stuck it in the drill drawer. Ah, thank you. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and assemble this. Because this is cedar pickets, it is a little cupped. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that cupping, if you notice, goes this way. The way we're going to help keep it as square as possible is we're going to put that down, and then we're going to put the other cupping facing inward as well. And that should give us a still pretty square box. And break out the glue bot. Little chunk of wax paper to put down so we don't get glue on everything. All right. Give that compressor just a few more minutes and it'll be done. So, I love this glue bot for this reason specifically. Puts that bead on there just beautifully. No more than we're going to be using the compressor, I think. That should do it for me. All right, so we're just going to start. Going to flush up this end. And then I always bring it over to the edge here. It makes it easier for me to get the gun up nice and tight to it. Let me see if I can move you guys over just a hair. There we go. Nice and flush. Got one. We'll put one on this end. Nice and flush as well. And we'll pop one in the middle. Now this whole build that I'm doing tonight is just purely, I've watched a couple shorts, I've seen them in stores, but I'm pretty much just making this up on the fly as I go. So bear with me. We'll see how it turns out. And then there's that amazing glue bot. Just keeps your bead right in the middle. I love that. Now we're going to take, flush up our other side and nail it on. Nice and flush. If anyone knows why my nail gun keeps doing that, please comment. Please let me know. Other than the fact that it's from Harbor Freight. All right. So when I shot that one, it moved a little bit on me, but if you only have one nail in, you can still reflush it up. So now I've got that where it's fitting perfectly again. And let's hit one right here in the middle. All right. Now we're going to add our sides. So we'll go ahead. Shout out to Viking Woodworks. Add a dab of glue all the way along. Daniel really is an awesome guy. All right. So on this, because these boards are bowed so much, you can see it's kind of leaning in on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack the bottom first. I want to get it flush. So I'll attack that bottom. And just know this is purely a prototype. If I was going to sell this, this is something I would definitely find a little bit straighter wood for. So now we got there. Hit that bottom again in the middle. So let's come over to this side. Bring that up, flush on top. And we'll tack that in place. Gotta love that. Got 4 people. If you just joined, please say hi in the chat. So what we're working on right now is a very crude prototype, mainly because the pickets I'm using are ridiculously warped. You can see how warped that is. These are, so it's not going to be beautiful enough to sell, but I think I can get my dimensions down tonight and I can make a high quality one tomorrow. That's the goal anyway, just get it close. Get all our sizes for our parts figured out. All right. So now we got our basic, just square box. Now it's time to add legs. This part, I'm trying to decide how wide I want to make these legs. So I want to go with something like this. Is that going to be too wide? Is it hard to tell? I think that actually, well, that'll actually cover that up pretty well. I think we will go with that. How long do we go? And of course, I could just like steal these dimensions from someone else, but trying to be original. We're at 4 1/8. So let's cut those front legs at 6. Yeah, let's try 6. See how that looks. we'll do 6 1/8. So we've got 2 inches below. I think that'll work. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. So I've got 2 dogs. One of them is a donkey. We call him Donkey. And I've got another one we call a polar bear because she's snow white and big and fluffy. Let's cut that. All right, we're getting there. 4 legs. Binner. Hey, man. So, kind of. It's very simple. Basically, all I did was I cut a square, marked the center, cut 2 45s, and then drilled or laid out the lines for the hole. I don't have any dowels, and I don't really want to spend time turning a dowel because they're so cheap. So I will go ahead and just pick one of those up tomorrow. But so you can see the finished product, where did I put the bat? I'll show you real quick. Sorry, everybody else that's been watching for a while. So that'll be the bat with the display, and we'll also put a bevel on the edge because I don't know if you, how well you know baseball, but the baseball home plate is going to be beveled on the side. We'll paint that black, paint this part white, and then my wife will put some beautiful team logo or whatnot. Rip in half and wrap corners. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying on the rip in half and wrap corners. But like I was telling everyone else earlier, Benner, I plan on selling those. This is like a little trophy sort of thing. I'll run them around the side. Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Actually, you know what? I don't think this is going to set smooth unless I take off that little bit of cupped wood. So I'm going to just buzz over that with my sander real quick. Quick little peek at Miss Hybiak. You're out of it. I don't know why she's so camera shy. She's a hell of a lot better looking than my ugly mug. Anyway, I'm going to buzz this just real quick just to make that smooth, and then we'll tack those on. There we go. Sweet. And like I said, this is a very crude prototype, but it will do the trick for tonight. Get those dimensions where we want them, and then tomorrow we'll make it a
I like the idea of putting half of it on each side.
nice syllable one. So let's add a dab of glue. We're going to tack those on. These might be a little thicker than I like, but that's part of why we're playing with this tonight. Just do a quick little prototype and see what we can come up with. I can't read what he said.
Oh, nice. It's not wide enough. Miss Burn.
Give me a sec.
Get that, it does not feel good.
Might have to kind of prematurely end this because my dog is not feeling good tonight. I don't know what she did this morning, but she hurt her paw. So there we got our front. Now let's go ahead and just cut our pieces for our back. We'll sand that down real quick too. Ah, yeah, she is the one that does all the burning and etching. All right. So now we just got to decide how tall we're going to make this in the back. I think we're going to go with wider pieces though, because we're going to, well, might stick with that. Because I'm going to hang a sign behind it. Yeah, I think I will stick with those. I think a foot might be perfect. Yeah, we're going to go with a foot. Might have to do a little more research tomorrow on the dimensions. I don't know what you did with it. I haven't smoked since you left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. go. Need to make a fancy mailbox to replace my boring metal mailbox. I made a huge Snoopy mailbox a couple years ago. It was pretty legit. That's cool, man. You should post a picture of that on my community page. I'd love to see it. All right. These are those little rulers I was telling BV about the other day that I got off Temu that I actually really like. I don't necessarily trust them for actual measurements, but as far as like if you want to match something, just butt that up, tighten down your set screws. They work great. And now we know how far to go there. So let's add a little glue. Oh, heck yeah. Getting more orders off Marketplace. That's the ultimate goal. I'm not super... I've been enjoying doing the YouTube, but I just like the woodworking at the end of the day. And if I can make enough off the woodworking, that's the goal. But I'm definitely trying to feed YouTube Shorts right now because very soon Gemini is going to be the new Yellow Pages, basically. And it's going to take all of its data from YouTube Shorts and YouTube because it's the same parent company. So I figure if I can build the name there, I'll be set for the future. It really is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I need to remember to take the tip, that special tip off when I'm doing that, though. It'd be a lot easier. There we go. Getting there. This one I don't think I'm going to be able to hang the sign from like I wanted to. I think we're just going to have to do more of the planks, which means I probably should have laid it out a little better, but that's okay. Might have to rip a few more strips. Let me see if... Yeah, the wife doesn't mind when I screw up because then she gets some freebies. I mean, it's not really a freebie if it came out of a shared checking account. Yeah, let me rip one more strip down so we can go ahead and nail a few more of these on here and we'll call it a day. But I do think one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and run that piece there. I think that'll make it look a little more official. Official as a whistle. Oh yeah. There we go. It's coming together. And the cool part is all the legs and this trim piece are actually hiding kind of the goofiness of these boards. So that helps. I have to put like a decorative bevel on the one tomorrow on the front. There. Benner, you don't know why that keeps popping open, do you? I would love to know. All right. Maybe that makes it look a little better. We'll take a quick pause and look at it. Kind of like an arm. I'll add one over here, and then we'll add some more slats back here, and we'll be done. Do I have a long enough piece to do that again? Nope. All right. I'll rip that strip real quick, and we'll get wrapped up. I'll move you guys over here. There we go. Let's see, that was my width, right? How about I just measure this rather than trying to set it up off of a drop piece? Yeah. It's just not quite getting there. There we go. All right. So I messed up on that cut. Normally, when I'm doing these pickets, I try to make sure that end faces forward first, so I don't have that. I would have used my push stick in that situation, but I didn't want to have it contacting right on that goofy angle there. So let's cut those last few pieces. Right, should these be running like this? Yeah. On the front. Yeah. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that, actually. Cool. I mean, there's all different styles, but that's the way I'm going to do this one. All right, guys, we got the last few pieces. Nail this bad boy on. This did not turn out quite the way I was envisioning, so I'm definitely going to have to look at some of the examples I've seen online and try to dial it in a little better tomorrow. But overall, for something that I just threw together out of my head on the fly, I think it's turned out too bad. Ah, winged that one out. I'm in too much of a hurry tonight because I'm worried about my dough. But what?
You sent that Snoopy.
Nice. Can I see?
I don't know how to look at it.
Yeah. Oh, that is cool, man. Everyone else in the chat. That's been our Snoopy. Last pick was the inspiration. A couple others that he did. That's amazing, man. Great job. All right, I'm going to tack these last two on, and then I'm going to go in and hang out with my wife and take care of my dog. And then we'll make adjustments to this tomorrow and get it exactly where we want it. There we go. That does look like that was a fun project. I need some sort of even-ish spacer. I'll just cheat and use these. I think that should work. Just add a dab of glue. Benner, since you started watching BV, do you constantly say that every time you go to put glue on something? I'm not like trying to steal the guy's trademark or anything, but it's catchy.
absolutely. I say he brainwashed us.
True. All right. Well, let's bring it over here in the light where you guys can see a little better. What do you guys think for something thrown together just out of my head? So I think tomorrow we'll put kind of like a decorative bevel on the front of these, maybe run them a little bit past, sand down all the parts before we put it together. And then I'm wanting to make them actually wide enough where we can put a welcome or 300 or whatever, 1721, whatever your address might be.
Our last name.
Last name. Yeah, you could throw anything on there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off and go hang out with the family. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.